Thank you very much for your time and welcome down under.
Thank you. It's awesome to be here.
The Australians I hear are being very good to you.
It's been amazing. It's just, you know, when you come to a place you've never been before, you sort of don't know what to expect. But we got here and automatically I walk out in the airport and there are all these people that are like, we came all the way from New Zealand to see your concert. We flew all the way here from all these places in Australia, and it's just been so amazing.
Brilliant. Well, we look forward to welcoming you down to New Zealand at some point. It's not too far away.
And it's gorgeous, so we'll find any excuse we can to get over there.
Glad to hear it. Look, firstly, Fearless is literally just released in New Zealand yesterday, so there's a whole legion of Kiwi fans that are sort of ready to embrace Swift mania as it sort of takes over the world. For people that don't know your music, Taylor, how would you describe it?
I would describe it basically all about love. Especially this album. You know, I'm very fascinated by the differences in fairy tales and reality, and basically the only song I know how to write is a personal one, and a song that is about someone. You know, when I see the track listing of my album, there's like a face that pops up next to every single song title, and my music is basically my diary put to music.
It's important to you that you write your own songs?
I've always written my own music, and you know, that's just always been the best part of this for me. When I write a song alone in my bedroom, I'm the only one feeling it, and I'm completely alone in feeling that way. But when I record it and I walk out on stage and I see another person singing those words back to me from the crowd, I'm not alone anymore.
Look, I look at your enormous success that you've had in a short space of time on this planet, and I also see a young girl that really knew what she wanted to be when she grew up. Is that true?
When I was really little, I used to think that I was going to go to college and be in business just like my parents, and I think that when you're younger, that's just sort of the default. You think that you're going to be what your parents are, but music was what I loved. It was just always what fascinated me, and writing was what I loved. You know, when I would go to school, I always looked forward to English class. I think I was the only kid who was like, yes, creative writing. You know, I loved telling stories, and when I was 12, I picked up a guitar, and when I learned 3 chords, my love for writing and my love for singing merged into one, and I wrote my first song.
And then it was off from there, pretty much, wasn't it?
I could not put it down from that point on. Writing songs became the first thing that I felt like I could never put down. You know, with all these sports that I tried when I was younger in school, you know, I'd try it for a couple seasons and quit because I was bad at it, and, you know, all these things, I never found anything that stuck like music. And when I started writing songs, I just wouldn't stop. Like, I would be playing guitar for 4 hours every single night when I got home from school, and my mom would literally be like, you have to come eat dinner now, you need to stop playing. And it would be to the point where my fingers were bleeding and we had to tape up my fingers for me to go to school the next day.
It sounds like you had a very supportive family and still do.
I had a really supportive family. They're absolutely amazing. And you know, when I was 10 years old, I saw this TV program about Faith Hill, and it talked about how she went to Nashville, and that's where she made it in the music industry. So I got it in my head that there was this magical place called Nashville and I needed to go. So every single day I would just non-stop, relentlessly bug them about going to Nashville. It's just every day. It's like, you guys, we need to go on a trip. I need to go. Please take me on a trip to Nashville. And so finally, on spring break that year, my mom and my little brother and I got on a plane and we flew from Pennsylvania, where I grew up, to Nashville, and rented a car, and my mom would drive up to these record labels on Music Row, and I would get out of the car and run up to the record labels and hand my little demo CD to the receptionist and say, hi, I'm Taylor, I'm 11, I want a record deal, call me.
And it worked?
Not then, actually. You know, when I was 11, I kind of looked around and thought to myself, wow, there are a lot of people who want to do exactly what I want to do. And they all have the exact same dream. How on earth am I going to make myself different? And that's when I went back home and I started playing guitar and I started writing my own music.
Brilliant. So you're living proof, actually, if you nag your parents enough, you'll get what you want.
Exactly.
It's perfect.
Basically.
What sort of singing stars did you look up to and you cite as influences now in your music?
Shania Twain was a huge influence on me when I was younger. she definitely was one of the reasons why I wanted to sing country music, because she just did everything. She wrote her own music. She was this dynamic performer. She took her music worldwide. She expanded country music so much. And I just always looked up to her for that, and I still do.
So when we talk about your style of music, you're managing to sort of cross over on so many different levels in terms of not just age groups, but the kind of music that you're creating. So it's a part country and it's a little bit pop. Is there a word you'd use to describe your sound?
I don't know. I think a lot of people describe my music as crossover, but I like to use the word spillover. Because crossover seems like you're going from one place and leaving that place and going to another, which is not what I'm doing at all. I'm still a country artist, and I'm lucky enough to have songs that have gone #1 on pop radio. It's kind of the best of both worlds. It's freaking me out. I'm so excited.
So when you look at a group of your fans, what is the quintessential Taylor Swift fan? What does he or she look like?
It's a lot of girls, and I think that it's kind of interesting because they literally go from like 5-year-olds to like 50-year-olds.
Right.
It's like, it's the weirdest thing because you'd expect there to be one general age group for them, but it seems to be everybody. But there is definitely, like, when I see girls coming to my concerts, I can tell that they're coming to my show if they're like wearing a sundress and cowboy boots and they're 18 to 25 is usually when you can tell they're coming to my show.
Noted, noted. Now, we've got a Kiwi country music star, Keith Urban, actually. Have you ever sung with him or performed with him?
Keith Urban is absolutely amazing. I'm actually going on tour with him this year.
Oh, brilliant.
I'm doing a headline tour in the U.S., but for some of the shows, we decided to co-headline with Keith Urban, and it's just like, I have always wanted to play with him. He's been one of my heroes for so long, and he's just so amazing. So I definitely wanted to check that off the list of things that I've done.
Awesome. You can say, "Go Kiwi" to Keith, and he'll love you for it.
Definitely.
Go Kiwi. It's brilliant. How would you describe your life right now?
My life right now, you know, I would describe it as a lot of different things. In some ways, I feel like I'm the same person I was 3 years ago before all this started. I feel like I just have a different schedule now. And then in other ways, it's interesting because I'm still the same person, but everyone kind of views me differently. It's really interesting because I feel like I'm so lucky to be in a place where, you know, I do these meet and greets at my concerts, and girls literally come up to me bawling their eyes out. And it's just like, I can't believe that people actually care what I write in a song. I can't believe that people actually care what I think or what I'm saying in my music. It just is so overwhelming.
Does it bring a sense of responsibility in a way?
There's definitely a sense of responsibility, especially because I take responsibility for everything that goes on in my organization. It's not one of those things where I go on stage and sing and that's my job. I love producing my albums. I love business meetings. I love, you know, understanding just everything about a publishing deal and a record deal and planning the entire stage, planning the production, everything that goes on in the music industry, not just a singer. So in a way, I'm taking on a lot of stress by approaching it that way because, you know, it's a lot more pressure on you when you're taking on all these different jobs. But I really like it. You know, it's fun for me. I've always worked well under pressure, and it's just been a really good year.
Oh, it certainly sounds like it. I think maintaining